Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So Nikki Thot has finally responded to Jamie's video. I'm going to give you a little background on the story. So Jamie came out with a shocking 1 hour video after 4 years of divorce, detailing how he was physically abused by Nikki Thot during their marriage. He provided screenshots of messages between him and Nikki, showing where Nikki apologized for beating him up. He also said that Nikki has been weaponizing the children and that she prevented them from going on a birthday trip to Disney, the children, by fixing a dental appointment. So he also said that he's currently financially incapacitated due to Nikki's manipulation. So Nikki responded in a long Instagram post on her stories. I'm going to read it and will summarize the post one by one. She writes, I made a video responding to the allegations and was ready to press post. But for the sake of our children, I'm not going to engage in a back and forth online. I will share context that was missing from his video and leave this subject alone. I've had no contacts with him since he posted that video. Nor have I threatened legal action. Jamie removed the video simply because he saw that people weren't buying his story. So I think Nikki was actually right on this one. Unlike what most YouTube creators thought, they thought Nick actually threatened to sue him or threatened to take legal action. That was why he pulled down the video. I believe Jamie felt he was going to get more support, and instead people criticized him. They were like, why is he coming out this time, this video, after 4 years? Why didn't he say something all this while? And why is he coming out with it now? That means something is up, or he's doing it just to get back at Nikki, because I heard that Nikki's fiance actually proposed a few days before. So he felt angry that Nikki has moved on and decided to post or make that video. She also said, I felt something wasn't right in my marriage, but I didn't know what I was experiencing. Then in June 2019, I came across the podcast Love and Abuse, where I discovered what emotional abuse was. I made the mistake of telling him that I knew he was emotionally abusive and probably a covert narcissist. I never cheated on Jamie, and he knows that, but he was quick to run a smear campaign through the community about why we broke up. I want to make it very clear that what you witnessed was reactive. The clips you saw were carefully edited and didn't show what led to me smacking the phone out of his hand. Neither have I punched this man or threw heavy objects at him during our disagreement. So Nikki is saying here that she felt she's been emotionally abused in the marriage after listening to a podcast. So he decided to tell him, which she thought was a mistake. She shouldn't have done that, because if actually Jamie is a narcissist and she told him that she actually felt he was abusing her, he would become more careful. At first, she felt she made that mistake of telling him in the first place. She also said here that she has never cheated on Jamie, and he knows that, and that after the divorce, he was running a smear campaign on her in the community. She also said that the video he put up was her reacting to what he said. She also said that the clips were edited to show what her reaction was and not the action that Jamie took. So she also said that she never punched him or assaulted him during their marriage, or even threw any heavy objects at him during their marriage. Okay, let's continue. I came to the house to collect some clothes. I wanted to have a conversation. He kept calling me a slut and to get out of his house. I then requested that he drop the girls at the supermarket car park for a changeover, and he says he would rather do it at a police station. This wasn't court ordered. Now I'm going to come in here. Who drops off a child at the police station? No, I think Jamie was actually very manipulative with this. There are many drop-off points. If he felt that his being was threatened, or if he felt that Nikki was going to assault him, if he feels that he's concerned about his safety, there are lots of places where people can easily see that Nikki is assaulting him if he feels that his safety is being threatened. And no mother will allow his child to be taken to a police station. It's so traumatic, even for a child. Me as an adult, I can't go to the police station for any reason. Now, why would you want a child? I feel Jamie was manipulative with this. He was trying to show his children that his mother or their mother was violent, or that their mother was dangerous, and he actually needed protection from her. So let's continue. At this point, I'm highly upset, because why would you want to inflict that trauma on our daughters, having changeover with their parents at a police station every week? Not even on a one-time or once on a one-time basis, but every week. He just wanted to manipulate their mind and paint the picture that their mother was so dangerous that dad needed protection. I smacked the camera out of his hand because I was in a vulnerable moment and I didn't want to be recorded. This was a pattern where he constantly violated me for filming me without consent. It started early at 18. Then when I gave birth, he posted my very personal birth vlog without giving me any time to emotionally recover. I remember begging him to give me time with our new baby before we shared her with the world. But he told me to stop sabotaging the channel. When the cameras were rolling, Jamie was very sweet to me, but behind this lens, he was highly critical. My body after children quickly became a main topic, and he expressed me needing to hit the gym 3 weeks postpartum with Ava. He would repeatedly comment on my stretch mark and loose skin, asking why I couldn't just snatch back. He blamed me for absolutely everything. Nothing I could do was right, and I was at fault for anything that went wrong in his life. Now, Nikki is saying that Jamie started filming her as early as 18, so she felt she's been used. I feel she felt she was never loved by Jamie, but that Jamie wanted her for the views she was bringing on the channel. She also said that he filmed her when she was giving birth, which she never wanted, and yet Jamie went ahead to do that. So what I want to say is that nobody has the right to film you, or nobody has the right to violate your privacy when you don't want them to. Jimmy was violating her privacy by filming her during childbirth. This was a personal experience for her, so she has the right to decide if he should put the video out there or not. She said Jamie insisted that her not being filmed was sabotaging their channel, and I feel this is wrong. You don't force people to do what they don't want to do. And she also said that Jamie body shamed her by telling her to go to gym after 3 weeks postpartum. Who does that? I feel after childbirth, women are always vulnerable about their body. It can also lead to postpartum depression about the changes in their body. And she going through this and then hearing the husband telling her that she needs to hit the gym and commenting on her loose skin is very bad. That is very bad of Jimmy if he actually did that. If he actually did that, then he's very abusive. He's emotionally abusive. And nothing or nobody should make you think that you are supposed to snatch back immediately after childbirth. Nobody should force you into thinking that. Because your body needs to heal before you start going to the gym. All that matters after childbirth is your mental and physical being, not what you will look like to the society. So let's continue. Shortly after that encounter, he tried to get a restraining order on me. Not only did he put himself as a protected person, but also our 2 young daughters. If he was successful in obtaining that, I could not come within 200 meters of them. His mother enabled this behavior and signed as a witness that she saw me beating him in front of the children. The clip you saw of me smacking the phone, and they took this evidence to court. I put a counter complaint on him, and it was up to the judge to decide. He knows there is nothing I love more than our daughters, so he used that footage to silence me. We never went before a judge. Instead, he had his lawyers present an undertaking, which conveniently included that the children could continue being filmed for YouTube. Oh my God. No, Jamie is actually naughty. Jamie is actually naughty. Of all things to put, oh my God. Okay. It's also included that we couldn't mention one another or our relationship online for 12 months. We both signed it because I had no intention of making this public and did not want to risk the chance of not seeing our girls. He has been free to speak on this since 2020. So, actually, I read the part of Jimmy including the children being filmed, and I couldn't hide. I couldn't hide my laughter, because why would you want your children to be violated like that? Why would you want your children to be put online? Why are you manipulating your children for views? And yet you claim you love them. Let's continue. I never kept him from the kids. I said you can see them whenever you want. All I asked is that he stops exploiting them. I saw how it affected me in the marriage, and I didn't want our kids to suffer the same confusion, because that was totally different while the cameras were on. In 2020, Jamie messaged my sister and was trying to get me back once he saw his views were still low, despite using the kids for the majority of his content. I had already filed for divorce, but he wanted me to change my mind. He came to my parents' house and we went for a walk, and he told me he wanted his family back. Wow. Okay, let's continue. I said no, and our divorce was finalized in December of 2020. Since then, I've been negotiating their online presence and managed to get it down to one video a week featuring the kids. This was across all platforms, including YouTube, TT, and IG. I worked very hard to lower their online presence because I saw how it affects them. I initially agreed to him filming with the kids as long as he paid them a percentage, but he refused that offer. Why will you film your children and yet you don't want to pay them a percentage? Is it that greedy? You want to film your children and get money, and yet you can't give them a certain percentage. You want to expose your children for money, and yet you can't give them that money. Okay, let's continue. He claimed I was vengeful, but after I left, he stole the channel, changed the password to the business email so that I couldn't work with past clients, and changed our bank details on AdSense so that the revenue from our past vlogs went to his personal account. He kept the vlogs for himself, leaving me with zero memories of our children. I requested my full birth videos, but he kept them from me for 3.5 years. He used it as a leverage so that I changed my stand on him making content with the girls. Wow. Part of the reasons I vlogged was to have a memory diary of our babies as they grew. But he kept this from me too. I even asked for footage of my sister Sarah. He had all the hard drives and he told me they were destroyed. Please keep in mind my sister isn't alive anymore and they were the only videos I had to look back and remember her. He knew our children and my sister were a sensitive spot for me, so he will use these two things to control me. Now who is controlling you? Why would you refuse to release the video of her sister to her? Why? Why, Jamie? Why? Let's continue. Jamie's health issue never stopped him from partying with friends and never stopped him from taking trips overseas. Why I looked after our children. When I did ask for assistance, he would throw it in my face that I was the one who wanted kids. So I found it interesting that he claims he's too sick to work a regular job. I even gave him ideas on what he could film. I told him he could make video editing content as he's a great editor and work a traditional job. I'm not limiting his capacity to earn. I simply put my foot down and said don't exploit our children for monetary gain like he did with me. Jamie kept dragging me back to court and writing complaints to my lawyers constantly. The legal fees he incurred were self-inflicted. His 40th birthday. On Jamie's birthday, the children had school. They mentioned Dad was going to Sydney for his birthday. He was aware she had a dental emergency, so I took the next available appointment, which happened to fall on Friday. I offered for him to take them instead as it was an emergency, and he said he would rather take them out for ice cream so he doesn't miss his flight. The appointment was at 5 p.m. I picked the children from the local ice cream place at 4:40 and we went to our appointment. Jamie then left for airport at 5 p.m. to catch a flight to Sydney. Now, I want to say something. The same Jamie that said he had health issues, the same Jamie that alleged that they are weaponizing the kids against him, but yet when there was an opportunity to take your kids out, you insisted to take them out for ice cream because you didn't want to miss your flight. And now you're back on the internet saying that Nikki was the one that prevented your children from spending time with you. Let's continue. The dad's playgroup. At this point of co-parents, I've reached my tolerance and wanted minimal in-person contact with him for the sake of Avi and Zoa. He would always have his phone out trying to bait a disagreement with me because I don't want them being used in content. I asked him to put Zoa in school on a Wednesday so I could avoid contact with him. One parent drops them off and the other picks them up. This seems like a good solution, but of course he fought me on this too. Had there been work obligation restricting him from changing his schedule, I would completely understand, but there wasn't. He had only been to the playground one time. He could have made other arrangements for the sake of healthy co-parenting. Okay, this is Nikki writing about how he was trying to make co-parenting work with him and how Jamie was proving difficult. Okay. Disney. I had to take legal action for my girls to attend school at their age. In Australia, you start school at 5 or 6 depending on how early in the year you were born. Jamie wanted them to delay another year so that he milked them for views. What do we in his care? I said no. We live in Australia and California was a very far flight and he has never taken them out of the country alone. I didn't want them to go, but I offered to come so that the girls don't miss out on the experience. But he knew I was there. I wouldn't like him filming them as much as he made co-parenting the issue. I wanted to put our issues aside and give the girls some happy memories with both parents. I brought up the matter of schooling because they took me back to court and forced me to send the girls to this very expensive private school. This was his request, and I'm now responsible for their expenses. What? So Nikki is actually saying that Jamie forced her to take the girls to an expensive school in Australia, and now he isn't paying. Okay, let's continue. Depression is not something I would take lightly. The comment I made on the recorded audio were not okay. Before he pressed record, he was calling me crazy and said I needed psychiatrist help, threatening to take custody of our kids. So I sloped to his level. This isn't an excuse, and I apologize if this statement caused offense to anyone. Long story short, this was a manipulative and calculated attack, not only on myself, but this attack will also cause collateral damage to our 2 children. This was a 4-year-old clip, and now this clip will remain online forever. I've moved on with my life. I'm in a loving and genuine relationship, and I'm finally at peace. The smear campaign was meant to only garner sympathy from his audience, but to revive a stagnant YouTube channel, sell an unreleased children's book, and completely slander my reputation. Jamie wanted revenge for me, putting my foot down and restricting how often he posts the girls online. It disheartens me that I need to even make this statement, because most people with discernment will see it for what it was. Thanks for taking time out of your day to read this. To Av and Zoa, I'm so sorry. So in this very long Instagram post Nikki posted on her page, there are 2 things that are very obvious here. First, Nikki loves her children, and all this paragraph, it was about the children. All these paragraphs was about the children. How she didn't want Jamie manipulating her children for monetary gain. She also stated how Jamie has made co-parenting difficult for her. Now, why can't, in all this, Jamie put up this video? Looking at all this, Jamie put up this video because he wasn't getting views like he wanted, and that he knew that the children were bringing in views, and not just the children, and also Nick, and hence why he went back to her in 2020 to reconcile, so that he could continue manipulating them for monetary gain. Jamie in his video talked about how hard he works, and now that Nikki and the children are no longer there why can't he take up an independent job away from manipulating his children for views? Why can't he take up a job as an adult? Why can't he take up a job like an adult? He also complained about health issues, but I've watched their blog countless times, and each time I seen him partying. Where was those health issues when he was partying? Where were those health issues when he was partying around? So I felt Jamie put up that video to destroy Nikki's career, and that is all. I think he's trying to get back to her for not allowing him to manipulate his children for views, and for moving on. It felt so quickly. So guys, tell me what you feel. Comment your thoughts below. Thank you, and please subscribe to my channel. Bye.